so far we've been working with our data in a large way where we're not really that concerned with the dates or the years or anything like that. We've been just kind of looking at it as a whole, our many, many years of data. So what I want to do now is show you how to break the data down, not only into just maybe multi-years going across or whatever, but breaking it down into years, into quarters, into months, all different, designs here. And it's actually pretty fascinating. But I will tell you that this is one of the least understood aspects of the program. So make sure you listen up well. I'll emphasize a lot of this stuff, but the key is that when you're working with the date aspect of this program, it can come back to bite you, where you can completely mess up your pivot and it won't calculate properly. You'll get all kinds of errors and things like that. So watch with me, follow with me, and you'll have no trouble. So what I want to first of all do is create a pivot based on companies. And I want to look at the company, and I want to look at the, let's say we'll start out with profit. I mean, we've got the profit field built into this already, as far as that calculated field. So we're going to look at profit and break it down in different ways as far as dates go, as you'll see here. So first of all, what we'll do, click somewhere in the data, go back to Insert, Pivot Table, hit OK. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in the company. So there it is into the rows area. There's all my different companies. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in the profit. So I'm going to find the profit field. And it looks as though we've lost our profit field. I think it was because I loaded up or reloaded up my example file between videos here. So no big deal. This will be a good review. If we wanted profit out of this, what are we going to do? We're basically going to take the, we're going to create a field, a calculated field that will take the total sale minus the cost. All right, everybody? So first thing we'll do is we'll go back into the Analyze. We'll go to Fields, Calculated Field. We'll call this one Profit. And then for our formula, we'll go ahead and we will find our total sale. That'll be our revenue, right? Minus the total cost. There we go. We'll hit OK. And there we go. All right, so now we have the profit field in there. Now, I want to break this down by year, okay? So, and have that go across. So we're going to go ahead and find our order date field. We'll use that over the ship date. So we're going to take the order date, drag that over into the columns area, all right? And there we go. Now, what's going to happen when you do this is that you're going to get those little pluses there. And if you remember from almost like the first video, I think I was kind of explaining these. But what the program does automatically, but it rolls it up, it automatically will break the data down not only into years, all right, by just picking the date, but it also will group it by quarter, by month, and so forth, right? Well, if you click on any one of these pluses, let's say do this first one right here, that will show the 4 quarters. I can do the same thing for each of the years going across. So I can get a very detailed profit report. I can see that when it came to the year 2022, Alvarez Fuderkisk, that was their profit on each of the quarters, and that was the profit for the whole year from them. All right? Look at this. I can click on the plus next to the quarter and get the months. So this can get pretty big. Your summary can get so big that it no longer looks like a summary, is what it comes down to. Now to roll all that back up again, we can just hit the minus next to the 2022. That brings it back up. Now, the problem I have with this, okay, initially, is that all I want is years. That's all I want. And what happened, though, is it gave me that, which is what I wanted, but it left room, okay, so that I can bring in the quarter, bring in the months and so forth. I'm not going to use that. I want to kind of free up this space. I want to condense this down a little bit, all right? Now, let me show you another thing. And see, this is where it gets maybe a little confusing, but just kind of bear with me. When we brought in the order date, okay, we drug it into the columns area, it actually broke it up. It broke it up into years, quarters, and months. So technically, the order date field is now the months, like January, February, March. The quarters are your quarters, and the years are your years, right? Now, most people, noticing that, would figure, well, maybe that's causing this to happen. I'll just pull those out, you know, like we've done before with other fields. The problem is, you do that, you will mess up the program's ability to summarize in many cases, okay? You will get nothing but NA errors or, you know, whatever. You get nothing sometimes. And you'll sit there and you will pull your hair out trying to figure out why it's not subtotaling. And it's because you yanked them out of here. What we need to do instead, okay, is to go on to one of the years, I mean which one it is, go to your Analyze, go to your group field, all right? And you will see that because these three are selected, it's giving you that, see? So, and it does that automatically. So the newer version of Excel, it does this automatically for you. Some of the older versions, you'll just get the year and that's it, all right? But here it went the extra mile, I guess. So all you have to do is you take off the months and the quarters, leaving just the years. You hit OK. There you go. It gets rid of those. It scoots up the extra space there a little bit. So there you go. And that looks great. You know, that's a great little deal there. Now, you can go in there and you can swap out, you know, other fields if you wanted to. You know, in other words, let's say we don't want the company anymore. We want, you know, something else. You can do all that. So, and you saw how we've done that. So not too bad. That looks great. Now, let's say you want to take this whole date thing to another level. Let's say that you want to show the years, maybe, and also the quarters, okay? But you don't want to show it where you've got the year at the top and then broken down into 4 quarterly columns, all right? What we'd rather do is have it so where maybe the years are over here. So it'll have like the, you know, it'll have each of the companies, and then it'll have each of the years below it, 2022, 23, 24, 25. Then also, for the columns, it'd be where it gives you the quarters. So you can actually look at a particular year for Alfred and look at the 4 quarters. Or you can do it vice versa. It's up to you how you want to do this. All right, we'll flip it around. You can see it. So how would you do this? Well, as you already have figured, we got rid of that grouping. In other words, that we got rid of the quarters, we got rid of the months. What are we going to do now? Well, we bring it back. And the way you do it is you click anywhere on any one of the dates here, all right? You go to your group field, all right? And what do you think you do here? Just take a wild guess. You're going to go ahead and you're going to click on to quarters. Hit OK. And now we're going to get years and quarters, all right? Now, so the quarters is actually now order date and the years is years, obviously. So we can take the years, drag it underneath the company, and get that. So now we can actually see that for Alfred's Futterkisk, 2022, profit first quarter, second, third, fourth, and then total for 2022. Not bad. Now, if you want to flip this, what we can do is we can take the years, put that up there, take the quarters, put it down here, and make it look like that. If that makes it easier. To me, I kind of like this way better for the years, and then I can see the quarterly breakdown if need be. So I can actually see that in 2022, these are the 4 quarters that gave us $277,000 in profit for Alfred's Futterkisk. That's pretty good. Let's add a little bit of something to this. We, in previous videos, were talking about the filters. Now, what I'm thinking about doing here is I would like to take, let's say, the country, all right? And I want to drag the country field into the filters. Now, it's going to put that little filter button up at the top there, right? So now what I can do is I can click onto here and say, all right, I want to see just those countries that are in, let's say, I don't know, we'll go with, find one here. We'll go with like Argentina, all right? So we'll click on Argentina, hit OK, and there's our Argentinian companies, and which are 3 of them, and there's your information. That's pretty cool. We could also do the zone. We could take the zone, drag that underneath the country, all right? So we go back to the country, hit all to clear that out. Now we see everything. And now we'll go to the zone and say we just want to see the Americas. So we'll do that there, hit OK, and there you go. So those are all the companies that are in the Americas. And then if you want to go, more specific, you could say, well, the countries that are in the Americas are now, some of them are listed here, right? Not Finland, of course, but I can say, well, just give me Argentina, all right? And I can hit Argentina, and now we're back to that mess again, right? But still, that looks good. That's a good little summarization of your data. Now to clear all of that out, we can just go back to the drop down on each of those, click onto all, just like that. And now we're back to seeing everything in there. Now the other thing, let's say that you decided that you didn't want to see certain quarters, all right? Let's just say that what's most important to you is the first quarter and the fourth quarter. You don't care about the second and third for whatever reason, right? Well, remember before, this is the filter for the rows. This is the filter for the column fields, right? So if we go to the row area, and before we do that though, we click on one of the quarters. That way it focuses in on quarters, right? Hit the select all, and then what we'll do is we'll choose the first quarter and the fourth quarter, see? Hit OK, and there we go. So now you've got it, the beginning of the year, end of year, if that means something to you. So that's a good little deal. And then later on, if you want to clear that out, you just click onto the filter, hit the clear filter, and you're back to square one again. If you want to focus in on a specific years, let's say you want to see just 25 and 26, hit the drop down arrow here, hit the select all, there's 25, there's 26, there's OK, and there you go on that one. And again, you go back in there, clear the filter, you're back. Now we can kind of swap out some fields here to get some different information here. So if we take the company out, so now we're just back to quarters. This is kind of interesting too. This would show you, in essence, your quarterly breakdown year over year with no other breakdown other than just that. All right, so let's say that we want to go for our fields here and go, okay, how about if we look at Bloom? We'll put Bloom down here, and we'll actually put the Bloom above it there, right? So there we got our different blooming times, or you take that out, and maybe this time we'll go with the life cycle, right? Put the life cycle down there, and now we can see our annuals. Again, you can look at this and say, wow, isn't that kind of interesting how our annuals overall are, which die at the end of the year, right, are more popular, or at least are more profitable than our perennials or our biannuals. And if this seems to be a consistent thing, that might give you ideas about blah, blah, whatever. But again, the whole idea of these summaries, these pivot tables that you're doing, is to come up with more information than what you see on the surface of all this, right? So, okay. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you can start using some of the tools and ideas. Take care.